So Garry, I mean, one of the things that's, I think, fantastic about Rivage is there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing. So, I mean, everybody ends up having a different workflow that works, the way they like to interact with the console and everything. Walk me through a little bit about how you use the console, custom fader banks, user-defined keys and all that kind of stuff.
I pretty much live in the center section. I live in DCAs. So pretty much every input is going to be on a DCA so that I can navigate around the console and find out what I need. Then I live in this DCAs and then the center screen. I keep the left-hand screen just as the 12-bank page. I think more for overview than anything else. I pretty much just live looking at the center screen. That's where I do any adjustments. I actually, ironically, don't really use the channel strip. I touch the screen and just either do the touch and turn or just grab the knobs below, if it's EQ or whatever.
What about the user-defined keys?
When we were Trey was doing streaming shows. We did eight weeks of streaming shows from the Beacon Theatre in New York. I ended up actually using the user-defined keys actually quite extensively. They were all 12 of them were used. I actually had, I suppose, multiple banks in terms of the D level was the redundancy switching and mirroring modes. The A was, turn on, my focal near fields, turn on my G-tone near fields, the tap delay. So, mute Trey or listen to Trey's vocal, he's listened to his talkback vocal. So I had basically all the buttons were used for a different function of whatever I was doing. So, that's probably the most extensive I've got into using those buttons. Normally it's just, talkback cue and tap tempo.
Right.
So, but the functionality there of what you can do, is in the streaming thing was more, I was required it more than I do normally in the live environment.
And you're mixing from one scene, right? So it's kind of like an analog mentality from that standpoint. Your hands on the faders all the time.
Yes.
You're not recalling any scenes.
Not recalling anything.
And that's just your preference, or?
I think the nature of Phish and Trey, they're basically a jam band. I don't know what they're going to play. Every show on Phish, every show is different. They don't repeat. If we tend to do multiple nights at venues, in the 3-night run or 4-night run, there will be no song repeated. So okay, we may then move to the next city and they may repeat songs, or they may pull out a song that they haven't played in 10 years.
Right. Yeah, because I remember you telling me you still hear
songs
that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
So which is amazing, and they got such diehard fans. Like if they play 4 nights in a city, they may have a fan want to go to all 4 of those shows, and they don't want to hear the same set 4 times.
They have fans that go to every show, so every show is unique. Even if they do repeat a song later down, the set list is not going to be the same. The jam is not going to be the same. It's pretty fluid in what they do. So it's mixing wise. There's no way to do scenes because one, I don't know what's coming up, and also where they're going. I have to try and go with where they're going. I'm representing their art, so I have to be fluid with what they're doing.
Yeah, that's fantastic.